On a pleasant fall evening in 1988, my wife and I were driving west on Interstate 40. We were traveling from North Carolina to Texas, where I was stationed in the Air Force as a police officer. We were planning on stopping soon and getting a room for the night. We both observed what appeared to be flashing lights about 1,500 feet ahead. They were over the median that divided the roadway. It looked like it could have been a small, low-flying aircraft. I lifted off the gas pedal and was going about 50 miles an hour. Within a few seconds of time, the object was much closer, and we became aware that it was an automobile that was out of control. And it was flipping end over end over end over end over end, and it was spinning several revolutions per second in the air. It was traveling at approximately 70 miles an hour. It was coming directly toward us. I remember thinking I needed to do something to avoid collision, and almost simultaneously, the vehicle was about 15 feet away from us in the air. It filled up the windshield. We had a closing speed of about 120 miles an hour. In that moment, my wife and I both were put to sleep, and we were unconscious. I am unaware of how long we were in this state. Afterwards, I remember my sight coming back, and we were traveling down the road just as we were before the occurrence. Then my hearing came back, and I looked over at my wife just as she was waking up. I pulled over to the side of the road. My wife stayed in the vehicle and prayed. I proceeded back on foot. I was anticipating seeing body parts. A gentleman called from the median stating he had found a vehicle. It was a red sports car, I think probably a 280ZX. It was resting on its passenger side. There was no sign of any occupants, and oddly, the vehicle appeared to have no damage. Then another gentleman called from the side of the road, stating he had found a body. It was a young to middle-aged white male. He was alive and conscious, lying on his back. He was a few feet away from the I-40 westbound fast lane. An off-duty nurse stopped and assisted us, and the victim could move his hands and feet and appeared to be okay. At this time, I departed the area with my wife to make contact with local responders. And of particular note is the fact that the wrecking vehicle's trajectory was changed in the air. As evidence indicated, it had not come into contact with our vehicle or any other known object. Had it simply missed everything, it would have landed away from the interstate completely on the outside of the westbound lanes.